Hey, it's Mark Lynn here with your video thought for the day. All right, shalom and grace, my friends. I'm going through the books of the Bible, about 4 to 5 minutes apiece. Today we're in the second gospel in the New Testament. It's the Gospel of Mark. Now, the Gospel of Mark is the shortest of the Gospels, but I think in some ways it's the most action-packed. The key verse that I'd give you is Mark 10, verse 45, and it says, "For even the Son of Man," a reference to Jesus, "did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." It's a tremendous verse, tremendous motivation for those of us who wish to live as Jesus lived, serving others rather than seeking to be served. Now, let's put Mark into 3 points. The first point, see in Mark the urgency of God's mission. Mark uses the Greek word immediately over 40 times in his short gospel. He doesn't give genealogy. He doesn't have the birth narrative. It's just Jesus bursting onto the scene like a runner exploding out of the blocks in a sprint. From the very first verse, Mark says, the beginning of the good news about Jesus, the Messiah. So in that first verse, Mark shows us a Messiah on an urgent mission. And every healing, every miracle, every confrontation just pulses with divine purpose and immediate importance. Which brings me to my second point. Mark emphasizes Jesus as a servant who is king, paradoxically. You know, Matthew emphasizes Jesus as king, but Mark portrays him as a suffering servant from the prophecies of Isaiah, especially Isaiah 53. But it's not that he's suffering as a servant because he's weak. It's his power being expressed through service. So when Jesus calms the storms, when Jesus casts out demons, when Jesus heals the sick, he's showing he has this true authority that is being expressed through serving others. And the climax of the servant king is not a throne, it's a cross where he gives his life for others. And that brings me to the third point from Mark. Mark doesn't sugarcoat discipleship. He shows the disciples' failures. He shows their misunderstandings. He shows their struggles. Peter's denials are particularly poignant in Mark's account, and many understand Mark to be, in a sense, writing down Peter's gospel, so that makes sense. The message is clear, though. Following the servant king means embracing his path of sacrifice. Mark also shows us failure is not final, because the risen Christ restores and recommissions his followers. So as I bring this to a close in practical application, consider how Jesus' example of power through service challenges our worldly notions of authority and success. In your family, in your workplace, in your community, heavens, if you're a politician in the political office you hold, ask yourself, where might God be calling you to lead by serving? Because true greatness, according to the Gospel of Mark, true greatness in God's kingdom often looks like sacrifice and service to others. That's why I've made this your video thought for today.